Hey, Cub fans. This is Randy Talks Cubs. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to tell you what happened. Uh, we'll start at the end. Tied 2-2, bottom of the ninth. It just started to rain. In fact, it was coming down pretty hard. And it looked like there was going to be a possibility that they were going to maybe pull the tarp. I don't know. And before they could make any decision, Michael Busch hit the first pitch that was thrown in the bottom of the ninth inning, 427 feet into the right field bleachers for a walk-off home run. Cubs win 3-2. Just a fantastic finish. Walk-off home run in the ninth inning. First pitch he saw, 103.4 miles per hour off the bat. Just an awesome finish. And we'll talk about how we got there. It was in doubt there for a little bit, but a lot of good things. Belli was back, and I want to start with that. Let's get up to date with some of the roster moves. Bellinger was in the lineup DHing today, so some moves had to be made. Canario was optioned back to Iowa. And at the same time, Keegan Thompson is back with the Cubs. Daniel Palencia got placed on the injured list for a shoulder stiffness. I guess the last pitch he threw last night, he felt some pain. Seiya Suzuki is going to be making some rehab starts in Iowa, probably tomorrow, maybe Thursday as well. So I'm going to predict that Seiya Suzuki is in the lineup in Pittsburgh either on Friday or Saturday, probably at the latest. So reinforcements, the cavalry is coming. Having Belli back in the lineup today, won that game for us. He was pretty much the difference. Seiya coming back, we're going to need him. And so that all looks really good. Smiley and Wicks both threw bullpen sessions today, 30 pitches each. And I guess that all went very well. So that's the update on the rosters. Let's go ahead and talk about tonight's game. The Padres came in. Padres are a good team. Kind of looking at their record, I got a little false sense of security on them. They're really good. They got a lot of good players. Pitching staff is good too. And so they're tough. And, of course, we had Shota going tonight. And I think I'm going to break sort of my rhythm, my routine. I think I'm going to talk about Shota first because he's on my mind. And Shota Imanaga, oh my goodness. He comes in, just to kind of regroup, he comes in with 16 starts, 0.78 ERA, 34 2/3 innings, sub-1 whip, 0.75, 35 strikeouts, only 4 walks. And he's just been amazing, and you just wonder what is sustainable for Shota Imanaga. And right now I'm saying I think maybe this might be sustainable. He did it again tonight. So Shota Imanaga's total line tonight, he goes 7 innings, gives up 6 hits, gave up a home run, a 2-run home run in the 8th inning. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. His ERA ballooned up to 1.08. So I'm going to talk about Shota's outing. It was fastball up. It was split down, the occasional sweeper, the occasional curve. Keeps his fastball up on the top part of the strike zone, and that split down and away to righties. It's an amazing efficiency to watch him get hitters out one right after the other with fastball up, splitter down. It's just amazing. So it was a little weird start for Shota because he walked a guy in the first inning. He walked the second guy he faced, Tatis. And I was like, this is weird. What's going on? Shota walked a guy. So walked a guy in the first and got out of it, 13 pitches. Second inning, he gave up a hit, but the hit wasn't hit hard at all. It was Solano hit one off the end of the bat for his single. So he gets out of that with just a soft single. Then he goes 1, 2, 3 in the third and the fourth, 1K in the third and 2 in the fourth inning, cruising. So 9 pitches in the third, 12 pitches in the fourth. Then the fifth inning, he strikes out 2, gives up a hit. And the hit that he gave up to Azekar was a good solid line drive. Azekar hit him pretty good, line drive to the opposite way. And that was really the first time that somebody sort of barreled him up tonight. So he's in the fifth inning. He gets Solano on a fly out to Happer and strikes out Kim. And then Azekar hits this line drive pretty hard. And then Higashioka hit a foul ball. And I'm going to talk about this foul ball that Higashioka hit with Azekar on in the fifth inning. And the reason I'm going to talk about it is he hit it foul real high. It probably wasn't a home run distance. Maybe it was pretty close, but it was a good maybe 15 feet foul to the left. And the reason I bring it up is the pitch that he threw was a fastball, but he didn't get it up. He left it down. He left it down probably 3-4 inches. And it almost cost him a 2-run home run. And I thought, oh, you don't want that fastball down. It's got to be up. It's got to be right at the edge of the strike zone, which is where he puts it all the time. But Higashioka hit this ball, just got ahead of it a little bit, and Shota knew he got away with one. You know, he's very animated on the mound, and he was like, oh, I really got ahead of that one. He comes back and strikes out Higashioka. So it's just, boy, that's how pinpoint he is. And I'm looking back on it, and that all night long his fastball was never there. And the one time it was there, he almost gave up a 2-run home run. So we got out of that one. Then in the sixth inning, he strikes out 2. But the sixth inning was his best inning because he had to get a bunch of outs. So sixth inning, he gets Profar to fly out to talk in right. And then Tatis Jr. hits a bloop single to right. Just a little duck snort, drops in. Then Cronenworth catches us in a little bit of a shift, and he lays a bunt down. Morel's playing over towards shortstop. So they got 2 on, and a little bloop hit and a bunt. And then Machado's up with 2 on, and he pops up. So this pop-up is going to be about 30 feet up the first baseline in foul territory by about 5 or 6 feet. Amaya's under it, backing up, got his back to first. Busch is coming in. They don't hear each other, don't communicate, and Busch runs over Amaya, and the ball drops. So that would have been an out. Well, it was a foul ball, so Machado's back. He just comes back and strikes out Machado swinging, and then gets Bogart's swinging strike to get out of the inning. So a bloop, a bunt, and an error, and it really just didn't faze him. And I thought that might have been the most impressive inning that I've seen Shota pitch this year. Just really battled. Then in the seventh inning, gets Solano, ground out to Morel. Kim flies out to Happer and left. And Azekar ends the inning. It was a throwing error, or I think they may have gave him a base hit, but it was, I'm going to say, a 3-hopper back of the bag, and Morel had to get rid of it really quickly, which he did. And the ball was a little bit low, a little bit left, and it went through Busch and bangs off the backstop. But Azekar gets up and tries to go to second. Well, Busch picks the ball up, fires to Dansby, and heads off Azekar. They get him in a rundown, and Amaya ends up tagging him out, coming back into first. So Shota gets through really 1-2-3 inning in the seventh. And he came into the seventh inning with 82 pitches, and gets out of the seventh with 82 pitches total. And I was very curious to know, are they going to let him go? Well, they did. They brought him back in the eighth, and Arise gets a single, a little ground ball past Nico. Nico dove for it. Would have had to have been a great play by Nico. He couldn't get it, and it just trickled into right field for a hit. And then next batter, Profar, just hits a 2-run homer. And it wasn't a bad pitch. It looked to me like a split. It was down and away. Profar reached out, got just barely enough of the barrel on it. Hit it to left field, maybe 2 rows above the basket at most. So, but at that time, a little bit of a gut punch because that put the Padres up 2-1. And it was just hard. It was tough. Shota had pitched such a great game, and still did, right? But he did, the home run, it wasn't a bad pitch. He didn't, Profar just made a good swing on it. So, a little CNI ground ball, and a guy gets a, 3/4 of the barrel on it, and it gets out. So, Shota's night was fantastic. He's amazing. He gets more amazing every time I watch him. Now 7 starts in, 1.08 ERA, and his numbers are really good. So much so that I was thinking about doing a little bit more research on some of Shota's numbers and some of his splits. And I think I've decided to do that. I think maybe on the off day, Thursday, I'll try to put something like that together. I want to dig a little deeper. I'm not really all that interested in going too deep with spin ratios and run values and that. I don't think here on the RTC we're really into that kind of depth in terms of analytics. You tell me. I'm certainly not. But I think I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more on Shota. So I think I'll do a little deeper research statistically, see what's going on. See the numbers on some of his pitches, because he's really so much fun to watch, such a joy. You can see how Monty comes in, pitches the 8th inning, the rest of it after the Profar home run. He gives up a single to Tatis, gets Cronenworth to pop up to Christopher. Machado goes 6-3. Bogarts pops out to Nico. But that pop out, Nico saved a run. Tatis was on, so he was running. And Bogarts hits a flare right over Nico's head. Nico turns and goes. Talk's not going to get to it. Talk's not even going to get close. Nico's going full speed and ends up making a running catch over his head. Saved a run. A huge play. Neris comes in, pitches the 9th, and of course, Heart Attack Neris didn't disappoint. Gets Solano on a fly out to PCA to start. Gives up a base hit to Hassan Kim. Azokar flies out to Happ, but Happ made another save. It would have scored a run. Kim would have scored for sure, and it could have caused trouble. It was a fly ball to the left center field alley, and Happ got a good jump, took a great track. So he's going full speed toward the wall in left center, and he makes a catch about step and a half from the wall, reaching out with his left hand. Great catch, saved a run, probably saved us total. So Neris gets help from Happ. He ends up walking Campusano before Morel pops up to Dansby to get out of the 9th inning. So all the pitchers did fine. Neris was Neris. Neris got the win tonight. But he had an inning like Neris does. He gets 2 guys get on, he gets out of it. So maybe that's what Neris is going to do. I don't know. And Yancey looked good too. It took a great play by Nico to save him in that 8th, but his slider was working. So guys pitching, we didn't give up that one blow up inning, and we got a little bit of timely hitting. Let's talk about the offense. First of all, Cody Bellinger back changed everything. It's amazing. Plug him into that 3-hole, and everything kind of shifted down. And then, of course, he goes 3 for 4. So he was a big part of the scoring. So let's go ahead and walk through it. Let's do the lineups. We had Nico leading off playing second base. Talk was in right field. Belli was DHing. I think Belli's probably going to DH here, at least initially, I would suggest. Morel at third, hitting cleanup. Happer in left field, hitting 5th. Dansby at short, hitting 6th. Busch dropped down to the 7-hole at first base. Amaya was catching, hitting 8th. And PCA in center field, hitting 9th. And we got 10 total hits. We spread those out. Walked once, struck out 8. We still left some guys on base, 7 guys left on base, and we were 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. So a little bit more of the same. We scored in our first run in the 4th inning. Bellinger, 106.6 mile per hour home run to right field, 393 feet, and just a delight. So Belli in the 4th. Then we had Talk led off with a walk in the 8th. Belli singled, Talk to 3rd. So 1st and 3rd. Morel sack fly to center field scoring talk. Then Happ, fielder's choice, 4-6. Dansby, 3 unassisted to end that inning. And then, of course, in the 9th inning, tied at 2, first pitch of the 9th, Michael Busch hits a walk-off home run. That's so good to see from Michael. He needed that. He's been scuffling. Everybody's been talking about it. In fact, I wrote a note in his last 18 games, he has 28 strikeouts. So the struggle is real. Had the golden sombrero a couple, I think 2 games ago. Struck out twice yesterday. Struck out once here, but that's the kind of walk-off home run that'll get a guy's confidence up and hopefully get him rolling. So Nico went 1 for 4 tonight. Talk went 1 for 3 with a walk, scored a run, had a strikeout looking in the 3rd. Belli went 3 for 4 with the solo home run. His first at bat is kind of funny. The first at bat, so Belli's been off. His first at bat, first action that he's seen since coming off the disabled list, he goes 12 pitch at bat before flying out to right field. 12 pitch, just honing it in. So Belli looked really good tonight at the plate. That makes everything better. Morel went 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts early, sac fly. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Morel. I just think that here's what happened. I was just doing some research, and going into tonight, Morel has right at 1,000 even, 1,000 career plate appearances as of today. That caught my eye, so I just started looking at it, and okay, he's 24 years old. He's got 1,000 plate appearances in the bigs under his belt. Let me give you some numbers, some stuff to kind of think through. He's hitting .238, got a .311 on base, .468 slug, so he's got an OPS of .779. He's got 50 home runs. His walk rate is 9.2 based on ball rate. His strikeout rate is 30.0. He has 213 hits, and he's got an ISO of 230. And some of the numbers, his home run percentage at 5.0 is 2 points higher than Major League average at 3.0. But, of course, his strikeout rate at 30 is higher than the Major League average of 22.6, so it's about 7.4 above Major League average. So I wanted to just take a look at that and go, okay, well, here's what's interesting. We know that Morel has been better control at the plate, less chase. Well, here's where it is. This year, his base on ball rate is 12.3%, so it's up. But the best news is his K rate is down to 20.8. So he's taken 30%, 33% off of his career K rate this year. So our eyes do. That's the other thing. I talk about, here on the RTC, I don't talk about much in-depth numbers. I just get into the minutiae and it doesn't mean anything to me because usually the eye test plays out, and it does for Morel. We all know that Morel's not chasing like he did, but it just sort of shows up on the stats, but I didn't know it was going to show up to that significant number. So from 30.0 career at 1,000 career plate appearances down to 20.8%. I mentioned an ISO. I don't know that I've mentioned that before, so it's a stat that I find just sort of curious, and it's isolating power. It's designed to measure pure power, and the formula is really simple. It's slug minus average, and it gives you a number. So if you take Morel's slug of 468 minus his average of 238, that's a difference of 230, and that's his ISO. So is that a good number? Well, yeah, in measuring power, it's a really good number. You've got Major League average is about 140, and a pure power hitter, a good power hitter will hit about a 200 ISO. And I just thought it was kind of an interesting stat that here we are with Christopher Morel. We know he's got power, but he's 24 years old, and we're talking about his first 100 plate appearances career, and his ISO is already 230. I mean, what is it going to be in his next 1,000 plate appearances? So I just thought it was very interesting. So I ran some ISOs for everybody, and this will give you a feel for it. Busch, this is coming into today's game. Busch's ISO is 226, so he's got power. He's shown power to this point. Dansby at 138, below the league average of 140. Say is 220, good power. Talk is 172, decent power. Nico, not great power, 115. What about Wizzy? You think Wizzy's got any power? Yeah, Wizzy's ISO is 304. Bellinger, 214. Makes sense. Hap's 84. Madrigal, 73. And just for fun, let's go back in history, some Cubs. Ernie Banks, career 226 ISO. Sammy Sosa, 261. Same as Schwarber. Schwarber currently has an ISO of 261. Some of the best of all time, who do you think's the best? I'll give you a chance to think about it. Let's do the power hitters. You got Bonds. He's 309. Ruth, 348. Hank Aaron was 250. So Jim Thome, 278. Pujols was 248. Willie Stargell, one of my favorites, Pops, 247. Darwin Barney was a 95. Don Kessinger and Larry Boa didn't have any pop at all. They were 60 career ISO. Ozzie Smith was 66. So it's just kind of a fun stat. You're like, yeah, is that guy, who's got power? Well, that's a good measurement of it. So here we are with Morel, 24 years old, first 1,000 career plate appearance. He's at a 230. It's going to be interesting to see what he ends up doing here in the next run. So Christopher Morel. Let's go back to what everybody did. Hap went 1 for 4, struck out looking. His single was a swinging bunt in the 6th. Just got it off the end of the bat, topped it a little bit. It rolled toward the third baseman. Dansby went 0 for 4 again. A couple of strikeouts in the 2nd and the 4th. Yeah, I was hoping that home run kind of flipped a switch. Might not have done that. Busch went 2 for 4 in addition to the walk-off home run. He had a 105-mile-an-hour single in the 2nd inning. Amaya went 1 for 3, had a single in the 5th. PCA had some interesting at-bats today. He went 1 for 3. In his first at-bat in the 3rd inning, he had a 9-pitch at-bat where he ends up with a line drive single. Really good at-bat for PCA. I keep saying it. He's been having good at-bats. Just the at-bat itself, not the result. But just the at-bats, they've been competitive. He's taking a lot of pitches. He's fouling some stuff off. He's not looking overmatched. So in that 1st inning, he got rewarded with a single after a 9-pitch at-bat. But then in the 5th inning, he had a really weird at-bat. They had a lefty in, and he was a little overmatched. And this lefty's average against left hitter was a sub-1. It's like .9 something. It was nasty. So this at bat, he goes show bunt, takes a ball. Then he takes 2 fastballs that just sort of froze him, right, pretty much right down the middle. So he's down 1-2, and then with the 2 strikes, he looks like he's trying to bunt again, and ends up striking out, trying to lay the bunt down. So it looked like everybody knew he was overmatched with that lefty that was on the mound. So it's kind of a weird at bat. Then in the 7th inning, he tries a bunt attempt again. Didn't quite get it past the pitcher on the right side. Pitcher fields it and then throws to the first baseman to get him 1-3. But it's always interesting with PCA. So PCA 1 for 3, played a great center field again. His center field work since he's been playing there, it's been steady. He hasn't made really any great plays. Hasn't really had any opportunity to. But I noticed that any ball that's hitting the gap, he's almost always standing next to Hap or Talk in case they need help. He's almost, and it just struck me, he's always there. He's always there waiting. He could get it if they need him, but he just hasn't had any opportunity to make any great plays. So we're not really talking about it, but it's very, very steady, very solid. PCA. So, we're all set up. We got a 120 tomorrow with Wesneski going against Dylan Cease. So probably need Belli to go 3 for 4 again, and probably need Wesnesi to go 7 1/3, something like that. So we'll see what happens. But Keegan Thompson is back. They took Ben Brown, we know, is gone to the pen. So sort of like what happened with the lineup today. You put Belli in that 3 spot, and the lineup got lengthened. And when Seiya comes back, it's going to do that again. Same thing with the bullpen. You're taking Ben Brown, putting him in the bullpen. It'd be interesting to see how they use him. It'll be interesting to see how they do that if Kyle comes back, if he's going to be a part of it, and Smiley and Wicks come back, and they look like they're close. So reinforcements are on their way. Belli's already here. We already had an impact on that. Seiya's coming back. You've got Ben Brown going to the pen. You've got Wicks going to the pen. Smiley coming back. And it's just going to be it's time to go, right? We bumped our record now to 22-15, and we've done that with a lineup that was missing parts that we need. Our pitchers are pitching really well. I'm pretty sure our bullpen is going to level out, and we're going to start getting some offensive production. I think when Seiya comes back, it's going to take the pressure off of guys like Dansby, guys probably like Happ, probably like Busch, so they don't feel like they have to. And once they don't feel like they have to, and they can free up, they're probably going to. So that's what it looked a little bit like with Bellinger in the lineup today. It looked like some pressure was off. When Seiya comes back, probably in that 2-hole, everybody gets pushed down. It's going to be a different team. So that's what's coming. That's what's on the way. So good win tonight. Walk-off home run in Wrigley. Sing the song. Everybody's happy. I know I was. Guys, thanks for checking me out here on Randy Talks Cubs. Really appreciate it. Big win tonight. We'll look to split the series with the Padres tomorrow afternoon. Go Cubs, go.